Hello there and a very good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS English News at 5, and these are the headlines. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail announced the formation of a new special task force aimed at resolving issues concerning stateless individuals and undocumented people in Sarawak. During a courtesy visit to the Premier Sarawak, Dato' Paninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg on Monday, the matter was discussed and plans for the task force were initiated.
He pointed out that the Premier's office has identified 3,756 undocumented individuals without any official documents on their persons.
Lawatan kerja saya kali ini sekaligus mengesah dan memulakan peranan dan juga tanggungjawab pasukan petugas khas untuk menangani isu penduduk Sarawak tanpa pengenalan diri. Jadi dengan adanya jawatankuasa ini, sekaligus kick off dia bermula, kita berharap selain isu warga negara, kita juga boleh membantu untuk menyelesaikan hal berkenaan dengan penduduk tanpa pengenalan diri.
He said this during a press conference after the handing over of citizenships to 62 Sarawakians. The state government has identified over 9,314 statelessness cases, which will be addressed by the task force. Nasution will chair the main task force with the Premier, while the technical task force will be co-chaired by the Director General of National Registration and the Sarawak State Secretary.
Petronas Carigali Sendirian Berhad made a significant announcement about the successful discovery of 6 oil and gas (ONG) findings in 5 offshore blocks in Sarawak. Petronas Upstream Executive Vice President and Chief Executive Officer Dato' Adif Zulkifli highlighted that this achievement showcases the untapped potential of Malaysia's basins, inviting companies to embrace new and innovative approaches in exploring these resources.
The discoveries include the Gedombak well in SK306 and the Mindanga well in Block SK411 in the Belinggian area, the Sinsing well in Block SK313, the Machinchang and Pumpkin wells in Block SK301B, and the Kalong Emas well in Block SK315 in the Luconia Barat area. Petronas stated in a press statement issued that all 6 discoveries are from new and existing oil field clusters showing low pollutant levels. According to Petronas, these discoveries are the result of an extensive domestic exploration effort carried out towards the end of 2022, which also led the Nahara-1 discovery in Block SK306. Petronas hopes that this will serve as a catalyst to attract more companies to participate and invest in Malaysia's upstream sector, especially at the exploration level.
Welcome back. Sarawak's carbon trading initiative expands to include native customary rights NCR land with a special focus on dense jungles. Deputy Premier Sarawak, Dato' Amar Douglas Ukahambas, revealed the primary goal of this extension is to harness the carbon sequestration potential of these trees, effectively combating the adverse impacts of climate change and global warming. Under this new initiative, the owners of NCR land will actively participate in carbon sequestration efforts and will be duly compensated for their valuable contributions. The specifics of the payment system are currently under careful consideration and will be determined in due course.
Ugah was accompanied by Betong MP Dr. Richard Rapu and a political secretary to the Sarawak Premier, Rosalind Mapong, announced the inclusion of NCR land in the carbon trading initiative during a meeting with landowners from Kubal Ili, Kubal Tengah and Kubal Ulu in Penom. Grants totaling 393,000 ringgit were presented to women bureaus representing 94 longhouses in Bukit Saban State constituency during the meeting. The purpose of the gathering was to inform the landowners about the upcoming land survey, which Ugah and Dr. Richard are leading, utilizing handheld GPS mapping instruments and laptops. Ugah emphasized the importance of all landowners present during the survey to ensure accurate boundaries and avoid delays. He encouraged longhouses to form committees for survey assistance and announce socioeconomic programs by the Betong Development Agency to support local. Meanwhile, Dr. Richard expressed gratitude to past leaders and urged community support for ongoing progress.
The Department of Statistics Malaysia DOSM for June 2023 announced that the country's Consumer Price Index CPI reached its lowest level on record, standing at 2.4%. The inflation rate, which registered a 2.8% year-on-year in May, has been showing a moderating trend since January, when it was at 3.7%.
Malaysia's chief statistician, Datuk Seri Dr. Muhammad Uzair Mahidin, reported that the slower June inflation was driven by lower increase in categories like restaurants and hotels by 5.4%, food and non-alcoholic beverages by 4.7%, and furnishing and household equipment by 2.3%. Meanwhile, 6 states recorded inflation rates above the national level, with Malaysia's inflation being lower than South Korea, Indonesia, and the Philippines.
The Deputy Minister of Finance, Datuk Seri Ahmad Maslan, said workers in the country should aim to have Employees Provident Fund or EPF savings of at least 240,000 ringgit by the time they reach the age of 55 years old. This estimated saving amount would enable individuals to retire gracefully and sustain their livelihoods after retirement, with at least 1,000 ringgit per month available for spending.
Ahmad said this during his visit to the Kelantan EPF headquarters on Monday, suggesting several ways for workers to increase their EPF savings, one of which is through voluntary contribution using the Ais Saraan scheme. Adding that as of June 2023, more than 500,000 contributors had opted to make contributions through the Ais Saraan scheme, and the government aims to encourage maximum participation in this initiative. The Ais Saraan scheme serves as a retirement incentives specifically targeted at members who are self-employed or not earning a regular income.
Local fire brigade revealed that 90,000 people were moved from homes and hotels, thus calling it the biggest safe transport of residents and tourists Greece has ever carried out. Footage posted on social media showed tourists crowded in hotels and waiting on buses on Sunday as they asked holiday representatives to answer questions about providing food and water. Civil protection authorities have warned of a very high risk of wildfires in Rhodes and many other areas in Greece on Sunday, as temperatures were expected to hit 45 Celsius or 113 Fahrenheit amid a heat wave. Fires are common in Greece, but due to the climate changes, hot weather during summers have brought more of them in recent years. A civilian Antonov plane crashed at Port Sudan airport, claiming the lives of at least 9 people, including 4 military personnel. The Sudanese army reported that the crash was caused by a technical failure. Miraculously, 1 child survived the incident. The incident occurred amid ongoing conflict in Sudan, with fighting between the army and the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group erupting on April 15 in the capital Khartoum and the western states of the country. Port Sudan, located in the Red Sea state on the eastern coast, has been under the control of the Sudanese army since the start of the war. Port Sudan Airport is the sole functioning airport in Sudan, serving as a critical transit point for much-needed foreign aid. The war was resulted in a death toll of at least 3,000 people across the country, according to conservative estimates. The ruling Cambodian People's Party CPP, led by Prime Minister Samdech Techo Hun Sen, declared a landslide victory in the general election held on Sunday. While official results were yet to be released, the party's spokesman Sok A San confirmed the victory, stating that it showcased people's trust in the CPP's leadership.
The election featured 18 political parties competing to elect 125 lawmakers for the National Assembly. The National Election Committee, NEC, was still counting results, with official results scheduled for release on August 9. This election marked the country's 7th since 1993, and in the previous one held in 2018, the CPP won all 125 seats in the National Assembly. The CPP has been in power in Cambodia since 1979.
And that is all the news for TVS News at 5. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.